What's up guys, my name is Robin and welcome back to TV Talk on my channel, RobzarrGoesRawr. Now, I've been umming and ahhing about what to talk about in this week's episode of TV Talk. And it took me a while to figure out because with everything I'm trying to do with catching up with the channel and my work on the video game project I'm working on and work in general that I have to do to pay my rent, and going on holiday over the weekend just gone, and trying to get my life back on track after watching Pretty Little Liars. I was like, I have got no idea, because I haven't watched any TV for the last week. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and I've got all these millions of things that I need to catch up on, all these millions of different TV shows on my computer that are just there waiting for me to catch up on them, and I haven't managed to get around to doing it yet. By the time you see this, I would have probably done it, because I'm recording this on Monday, and I intend to catch up on all of my stuff on Tuesday, even though it's 20 to 1 in the morning now, so technically it's Tuesday, but I do intend to get some sleep before going and catching up on all my TV shows. So I decided this video is probably not going to be very long, and I've decided I got eyeliner down my face. I've just been playing Honeycomb Studios, stressing out, got eyeliner down my face. So I decided I'm going to do this TV talk on ships, because it's an easy subject to talk about for the most part. And it's quick and easy, and I can just kind of rant a little bit and it'll be fine, and that's how this video is going to go. So, for those of you who don't know, this doesn't just apply to TV shows, it applies to films, books, video game characters, basically anything, but the main basis of it is in TV shows. And a ship is like, it's hard, I know what it is, but it's hard to define. And it's kind of like there's a couple in a TV show, and if you ship them, then you want them to be like endgame. We call it us shippers, us people with no lives, that are constantly going on about one true pairings and OTP that are like abbreviated to OTPs, and like obsessing over TV couples that aren't even real couples. They call it shipping because to be honest, I don't really know why, but it makes for some very fun kind of memes and things like that when people's ships don't go well, and you get people like making like Pirates of the Caribbean ship memes. That scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow keeps saying, "Stop blowing holes in my ship," when people's couples on TV aren't working out the way they want. I will put some ship memes on the screen like right now, and you can just see what it is I'm talking about. There are so many of these things on the internet, and people, me included, get so invested in these kind of couples in TV shows that, like I say, aren't even real couples. And now I've been a member of I've been a fan of shipping for a long while now, and it got really intense when I started watching Lost Girl, and having just watched Pretty Little Liars, and gone through that emotional crisis over the last couple of weeks, my shipping obsessions are coming back, because I stopped when Lost Girl ended. I stopped, and the TV shows I started watching weren't so much based around couples as they were superheroes. And I mean, there are things. No, I'm sorry, I got a sniffy nose. There are couples to ship in superhero TV shows. Like in Arrow, I ship Ollie and Felicity. In Flash, I ship Barry and I can't remember her name. His stepsister, but not stepsister, because that'd be weird. What's her name? I can't remember her name. I can't remember. Anyway, for some reason, the reason they aren't so prominent in TV shows like that is for some reason ships seem to go completely overboard when they are to do with a gay, lesbian couple. And again, this was a big thing with Lost Girl, and I've never seen it quite as like violent shipping, I suppose you'd say, as it has been in Lost Girl. I've never seen that kind of ferocity behind shipping before, and I haven't seen it again since, even with Pretty Little Liars, with the main character Beau, obviously, like, say it. This is why it's fun, because you get to make loads of like boat metaphors, and Beau was like sailing between these three kind of couples, these three ships, and at one point or another, every single kind of like ship was like looking like it was going to work out, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, and then they were like shipping someone else, and then it wasn't. And then in Lost Girl there was Dibo, which was Dyson and Beau, Docubus, which was Lauren and Beau, and Velcubus, which was Tamsin and Beau. And I was on Velcubus ship. I was on the SS Velcubus, as we called it, and I don't know why, but for some reason I seem to be the kind of person, and this is another thing that I picked up on since watching Pretty Little Liars, I seem to be the kind of person that ships the couples that really obviously aren't going to work out, even though you are praying like every night to whatever god there is above us. Like, I'm not religious, but I would find myself being like, please let it be vacuous, please let it be vacuous. And it's like, you know it's not going to work, but you're like, in your heart of hearts, you are just hoping that maybe the directors won't be assholes in the next episode and they'll give us a little bit of something, but then they'll be like, actually, if they give us something and then it doesn't happen, it feels worse. And it's a really strange sensation to feel, because like, they're not a real couple in real life. These two people are just actors, and I find, like, myself personally, I get really attached to these characters. For some reason, I know it's not just me that says this, for some reason it seems to be a lot more prominent between couples that involve two women, and I think that's why Dibo in Lost Girl never got a lot of support. Docubus did. Velcubus got a hell of a lot of support. But that wasn't, it didn't turn out that way, because in the end, spoiler alert, Tamsin died. I don't think it was ever going to play out anyway. I think everybody knew, no matter how much they didn't want to know it, everybody knew Beau was going to end up with Lauren. But it was just kind of like, the producers, they'd like dangle these ships in front of us, and they'll be like, oh, is it going to work, is it going to work, find out next episode, is it going to work, is it going to work, and then it'll kind of give us a little bit more, and then it'll be like, no, we're going to sink your ship, and it's never coming back out of that ocean again. And after watching Pretty Little Liars, it has brought that back to me, because and just so you guys are aware, like, ship names like Velcubus, Docubus, Dibo, and that kind of thing, they're kind of abbreviated, and a lot of the times they are just two, like, a name that is made up of the two people's name that are involved in the relationship. Velcubus and Docubus, you couldn't really do anything with Lauren and Beau, and Beau and Tamsin, so they kind of mixed up their Fae names, and obviously Lauren was a doctor, so that's what that was from. But in Pretty Little Liars, we've got Spoby, which is Spencer and Toby. You've got Haleb, which is Hannah and Caleb. You've got Ezria, which is which is Arya and Ezra. Arya and Ezra, sorry, not Arya and Ezra. Arya and Ezra. And then you've got Emily's ships. Now, Emily's ships are kind of like a fandom all on their own, because Emily, again, for some reason, this is why this happens. Emily is the gay girl of the group, and she has got Amaya, which is Emily and Maya. She's got Paley, which is Emily and Paige, and then there is Emerson, which is Emily and Allison. Now, I am hardcore shipping Emerson at the moment, and I'm praying that when season 7 finally comes around in June, that we actually get to see some of that. And for the first time, it actually seems like there might actually be some kind of thing there that could happen. But I know exactly what people are like. They're gonna, like, I know I'm not the only one that's like shipping this. It's like international, like, Emerson shipping goes on like on a secondly basis. Like, they are my OTP, sorry, in this TV show. I would love it if Emily and Allison got their fucking acts together and ended up being a couple. That would be the best thing for me in this damn TV show. But because of my track record of, for some reason, shipping couples that don't end up being together, and they're never going to be together, and you know that even though you don't want to, I have this doubt in my head that it's not going to happen. But for there are a lot of reasons to have hope for Emerson in this TV show, I think, because obviously we know the guy that Alison's actually married to, for starters. Is strange because Alison's married, but there's still more hope for her and Emily than there was for Tamsin and Bo in fucking Lost. It's ridiculous. Alison is married, but the guy is obviously evil because he's actually in love with her sister, who was A. Emily has been like constantly in love with Alison for like since she was like 15, even though she's had like girlfriends and tried to get over it, she just hasn't. And we found out in season 6A that Emily's feelings for Alison weren't one-sided. Now I feel like they wouldn't have put that in there if they didn't intend to do something with it in the future. I don't know how long it will take for that to actually happen. I don't know if we'll actually see anything of it, but it's really funny that the couple in this TV show, one of them is married, but there's still more hope for them than there is for some other couples in like other TV shows. Now, I don't really know like how this is gonna play out for like anyone in Pretty Little Liars. I think all of the ships at the moment have been sunk. All of the four ships, the four main ships at the moment in Pretty Little Liars, they have been sunk. Hannah is not with Caleb, Spencer is not with Toby, Aria is not with Ezra, and Emily is not with either Maya because she's dead, Paige because they broke up, and Alison because she's married. So none of the four main characters' ships are actually sailing right now. It's really funny talking about ships like this in front of a camera. They're not sailing right now. And it's really strange. It was really strange watching season 6B because everyone's in new kind of relationships, and you've got Spencer who is with Caleb, and I don't know what that ship name would be. I don't even know if there is one. I'm not even going to try and make one up because there probably is one. I just haven't seen it. I don't really ship it. But I like, as much as like I obviously ship Emerson the most, I ship Ezra, I ship Caleb, and I ship Spoby. I really hope that they all end up back in their original couples eventually. Now, even outside of the TV show, there are ships like Hannah-Lee, which is Hannah and Emily. Apparently that's a thing in fan fiction. That's never going to happen, guys. I'm sorry, it's just not. You just keep that to your fan fiction selves. It's not going to happen. And I guess what the point I'm trying to make in this video is it, I'm just curious, that I'm more curious than anything, is it just me that seems to be attached to ships that are doomed to fail? Is it just me that seems to find themselves attached to ships? Like, I know it's not just me, but is it like what is your opinion on, let's say, is it me? It's kind of like is it in your opinion? In your opinion, why do you think ships seem to be more prominent with characters and couples that involve two women? And who do you think your biggest ship is? Like, I don't think I'm shipping Emerson quite as badly as I shipped Valkubus, but I was with Lost Girl a lot longer than I've been with Pretty Little Liars. I was with that show for years. I watched it like when it first came on TV, and I watched it every year. Whereas Pretty Little Liars, I've only been with it a couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm just curious as to what your views are on how ships, like, I'm really ill at the moment, so you know. On what your opinion is on what ships like why they are how they are, why they are so much more kind of like relenting in same-sex couples, and why people seem to go for the ships that are like doomed to fail, and like why people get so attached to them. And I'm curious about this because I don't know myself why I get so attached to these fictional fucking characters. And like, I'm like, it's literally like hanging on a thread every week on whether you're going to see your ship in an episode of a TV show. And it's not just like my prominent ones have been Lost Girl and Pretty Little Liars, but there have been other ones like Skins with Emily and Naomi, even though they ended up together and they were pretty much always together. In the first lot of the first season, I think, when they weren't together, I was like shipping that real hard, because I was like, actually, are they going to do it? Is Naomi actually going to kind of buck her ideas up and tell Emily how she feels, blah 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 blah, and just stuff like that. And it was really like, I don't know, it just feels really, really fucking strange, like shipping these characters that are out, that literally are just characters, and getting so like emotionally involved in it. And it's like you're setting yourself up to fail. Like, I feel like I set myself up to fail every time I choose like my prominent ship that I'm gonna go for in a certain TV show, because for some reason, like I say, I always go for the ones that I think maybe there'll be a chance, but I know really that there isn't, and it sucks, because I end up getting really angry and really upset with these TV shows because they're not planning out how I think they should be planning out. And you know, I'm not stupid. If I ship a couple, it's because I genuinely think that they would be good together, and it's because there's been some kind of like hint towards it in the TV show. I don't just pick two random people and be like, right, my OTP is these because I say so. That's not how I do it. It's because, one, I think they'll be good together, and two, there's been some kind of like subtle, not even subtle, there's been some kind of like dramatic hints towards it within the TV show itself. So it's not like I just pick two random people and be like, be a couple now because I say so. But I don't know, TV shows at the moment seem to be flaunting these couples in front of us without actually kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Without actually planning on doing anything with it. It's really strange, and I get myself really attached to these characters, and it just goes to shit, and then I end up being really grumpy and like an emotional wreck, and I'm watching this TV show and it's not planning out exactly how I want it to plan out. But I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on the matter of shipping, because I'm curious on how many people out there like have this, I wouldn't call it an issue, but for the sake of this video, have the same issues with ships that I do, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on my issues if you don't, because I think sometimes I just kind of sit there and be like, Robin, you need to get yourself help, and it's ridiculous, but I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments. But I'm going to cut this video short because I got a really bad cold, and I've just been like sniffing into the microphone for the last 20 minutes, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, exactly that, yeah. So, I'm going to cut this video off right here. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below as well. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming up this week, and until the next time you hear from me, guys, as always, stay classy, gamers.